This channel's for adult collectors and not for kids. Hey guys, thanks for stopping back by. Today I wanted to talk about two monsters that I think are really cool that don't seem to get enough love. This first monster is a vinyl model made by Relic. It's from the 1997 movie The Relic, which is a cool movie. It's fun. It has some really cool monster special effects, practical effects by Stan Winston and crew. But it also has some dodgy fucking CGI added in it that sticks out like a sore thumb. You can tell when it's not the practical monster and when it's CG. But the monster does look cool. And this was the very first collectible of Kothoga. 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 Like I said, this was a vinyl model put out by Relic. And I like this model. It's cool, but they couldn't have posed him in a more awkward fucking position than they did. He's like looking back behind him. I think it's supposed to be kind of like he's scaling the walls of the museum like in the movie, and he's looking down, but it's just awkward as shit. But he is a nice looking model. He's a cool looking monster. He's got these bug pinchers. If you've never seen the movie or read the book, don't worry, there's lots of people that haven't. But basically, Kothoga was a scientist that gets genetically altered out in the jungle. And his human DNA is mixed with all kinds of animal DNA. So there's like insect DNA and lion DNA and all kinds of stuff. He does have a cool face. But yeah, I like to imagine the sculptor's boss was like, yeah, no, that's great. But can you make him in a more awkward pose? That's great, Johnson. Just great. But he's cool. It's a cool looking monster. I'm glad I have him. But years later, you give everything enough time, and this bad boy was made. So again, this is Kothoga. Better model, better sculpt. This was made by Pegasus Company. Yeah, you can see like his insect bug-like mandibles. You know what I need to get? I need to get one of those rotating, those little display stands that rotate around in a circle. I think that is something I will invest in. It would make this a hell of a lot easier. This guy was fun to paint. Lots of little scales. As my thumb gets in the way of the camera. This is an enjoyable movie, The Relic. And it's funny. I remember sitting in the movie theater when this came out, and it was one of the first times I noticed Quentin Tarantino's influence on other films. So, Tarantino writes dialogue the way other movie people only dream of making dialogue. And like his exchanges between people, even, you know, executioners like Vincent and Jules, carrying on everyday conversations about cheeseburgers and giving a chick a foot massage and stuff like that. Other filmmakers wanted to have that sort of everyday sort of talk, that snappy dialogue that Tarantino's known for. So after Pulp Fiction, you were starting to see other directors sort of shoehorn that style into their movies. The Relic is the first time I caught that. There's a scene, I think it's either two rent-a-cops talking or it's two policemen talking. It's been a while since I watched it. But they're talking about coffee. And it's just like a throwaway scene. It doesn't add anything to the movie, but it's just the way they're talking about coffee. And I was like, oh, look at them trying to copy Tarantino. So if you guys watch that movie again, there'll be a scene between two rent-a-cops or two cops, and they're talking about, you know, mochas or lattes or what the fuck ever. Just notice it and think to yourself, that was 1997. That was just a couple years after Pulp Fiction. And you'll kind of see what I'm talking about. If you're a movie nerd. If not, don't worry about it. Okay, so the next monster I want to show you guys is very, very cool. And this monster is from the Frank Darabont movie, The Mist. This monster is cool. So, I know I talk a lot about Monster Palooza. Well, at one of the Monster Paloozas I went to, there was a guy there, and he was selling models, and he had worked on The Mist, and he had the digital files of the monsters used in the movie. And he was able to, you know, of course, for a fee, I bought this from him, and he printed out the monster, So it's exact. It is it's exactly like the one used in the movie because it came from the same digital file that they used. So he's kind of lightweight because he's that 3D printed resin. But man, is he cool. So he's like a cross between a lobster and a spider. But when you see him in the movie, he's all shrouded by fog. He's in the mist, and I think you only see like his silhouette, and he pulls a guy apart from the grocery store out in the parking lot. I think it's the scene where that group of people try to make a break for it, and they get picked off. Anyway, I painted him a gray with a slight bluish tone to it. Anyway, I got the distinct feeling from talking to this guy that he was not supposed to have that digital file, and he wasn't supposed to be selling this thing. I don't care if he was supposed to. I'm glad he did. I'm glad I have it. I've never seen this thing for sale anywhere else. So that was cool. Not that I need something to be limited to enjoy it or have it be cool, but man, this Dawn of the Dead music is all over the place, huh? It goes from the really scary goblin stuff to ragtime barber shop music. Big, nasty arachnid-lobster thing. Anyway, that is my Monster from the Mist, which is a really cool movie. And it always bugs me when people talk about, oh, but the ending, why did he have to end it that way? Grow up, you bunch of pussies. I love that movie because of its downer ending. Frank Darabont had the balls to make a movie on a downbeat, and it shows you just how severe and fucked up things were. Like, the people in that movie thought it was the end of the world, which for all intents and purposes was. You had interdimensional monsters, giant Lovecraftian things walking around killing people, and the main character makes a hard decision where any father wouldn't want to see his child eaten literally by monsters. And it always bugs me when people always cry about the ending. And I love it, and I love it for its ending. It's a really good movie. It doesn't have lots of set pieces. Pretty much the entire thing takes place in a grocery store, in like an old 1970s grocery store. So I love it for that alone. Then you've got these awesome monsters, spiders with like human faces and tentacled things, and you know, it's always scary when you can't see what's out there, out in the fog, out in the mist. It's a really cool movie with really cool acting and great looking monsters, and a director who had enough balls to make a movie end the way he wanted it to. Anyway, that's a look at my mist monster and Kothoga. So let's get you two. Look at you looking back all sexy. Did someone call my name? Calm down, Kothoga. All right, thanks for stopping back by, guys. I'll have some more monsters for you to take a look at next time. Okay, happy Halloween.